Personally, I reached that 50K per month wala stage in within 3 to 4 months of my full-time career. So I had been doing freelancing for 2 years.
A lot of people are stuck in the skill building phase. उन्हें समझ नहीं आ रहा skill कैसे build करे. So how did you manage in that? So how do you convince them? Even the big players are not ready to pay. So how are you like convincing them to pay you good money? What's the catch?
Within 40K, they would have got like 6 months ka entire content, but they chose to pay me for a single blog.
So if you can tell us ki if someone is starting out, so what should be their marketing strategy? Hey guys, welcome to the first podcast of this channel, and today I have with me Aastha, who is literally the queen of SEO writing. She has worked with some of the biggest names of the industry like Ahrefs, WriteSonic and Invideo. I mean, हम तो उनका tools use करते हैं, but she is the brain behind their content. So let's welcome her, and Aastha, please introduce yourself.
Sure, thank you so much, Adarsh, for having me here, first of all. And I'd keep it very short and simple since you have already talked a lot about me. Thank you. I'm very much thankful for all the warm words that you showered on me. Now, introducing myself, I am a freelance content writer turned content marketing agency owner. Like, I switched from being a freelancer to an agency owner very recently, about 4 months back, and the journey has been amazing, whether that be in terms of a freelancer or it be as an agency owner. While I'm still adjusting with that switch, I'm really enjoying the process. And throughout these years, I've worked with well-known brands, as you talked about, Ahrefs, Invideo, WriteSonic, Bonsai, Sirona, and many more. I also have a WhatsApp group wherein I share my insights, my learnings with aspiring freelancers or freelancers looking to scale their careers, and that's something I really enjoy doing. Because what can be better than getting blessings from people by reading messages like, hey Aastha, I could get this client. Hey Aastha, because of your teachings, your insights, I could get this, I could get that. I think that's the biggest thing that I am proud of myself for. So yeah, that's pretty much about.
Wow, yeah, like I'm with you on this ideology. Like a lot of people don't share this vision ki helping out for free, like big creators. Moving on to the questions, like can you start with how you started freelance journey? And a lot of people are stuck in the skill building phase. उन्हें समझ नहीं आ रहा skill कैसे build करे. So how did you manage in that phase?
Okay. So my journey began without me actually getting into freelancing, thinking, okay, I want to become a freelancer. It all began with internships. Being a college student, you get to explore those internships, especially because I was pursuing journalism, graduation in journalism, because of which I got my hands on content writing for the digital desk. So I did an internship with a startup, and then I moved on to an internship with the Indian Express that eventually helped me learn a lot about the basics of writing. I was always into writing personal stuff like blogs and more, but those weren't like professionally done. Of course, that was just sharing my thoughts, feelings and more with the people around me. But with this opportunity of doing internship with these organizations, it helped me understand how this digital content world works, what is SEO, and how do you need to write for people and not just share what you feel like. So these internships were the key thing that helped me learn the basics of the professional world. And apart from that, in the lockdown time, I also used to YouTube things like how to create your own blog, how to make money with blogging, just to earn some pocket money on the side while being a student. So I also started my blog back then, and that really helped me understand how things work in the practical world, as in what I'm learning in terms of SEO, does that really work? Because if it doesn't work for my website, how would I be able to bring results for my clients? So I started the website with that objective, and I felt like it had helped me learn things practically a lot. So for anybody who is just looking to upskill or to just get started and learn some basic skills as a writer, I definitely recommend going for internships, because even if you go for a course, you will have to pay there. and you'd get to learn things theoretically. So an internship is actually an opportunity for you to work for free. Even if you're not getting paid in return, you're getting to work for somebody and learn. People don't expect much from you if they're not paying you, and if you're working as an intern with them. So that's actually an opportunity for you to learn and learn things practically. And then you can also go ahead with any courses that you think are right for your skills. But internships are definitely going to help you a lot. Apart from that, if you want to learn content writing, SEO, then there are a couple of blogs and YouTube channels out there for Ahrefs, SEMrush, Moz, Uber Suggest, and there are a couple of more. So you can definitely refer to those comprehensive guides and level up.
Yeah. Definitely. I just personally love Ahrefs like resources, and they also have a YouTube channel. So that is like awesome. So an extension to this question, where did you find these internships? Like I usually get these questions, कि internships कहाँ से ढूंढे? So what is your go-to place?
So I personally got my first few interns. So I did like 6-7 internships overall while I was a college student. And most of those internships were thankfully from my college placement cell. So I got graduated from Delhi University South Campus, and the college placement cell was pretty active, especially in terms of internship opportunities. So we had a group wherein I got those, but I also got 1 or 2 of them from Internshala. So that helped me. A lot of people say that it's scam and more, but personally it worked for me. I got some internships that were both paid and unpaid, and that was of great help to me.
That's amazing. Yeah, like college placement cell, most of us did not know कि उसका भी ऐसा फायदा उठाया जा सकता है.
Right. Even you can contact your seniors, college seniors, and they'll definitely help you out with it. Okay, yeah, one thing. Getting an internship in the Indian Express, that's something that I did not get from my college placement cell. But what I did back then was actually building network or building a relationship with somebody who was working in the Indian Express through LinkedIn. So that's not something somebody taught me, but it just happened naturally that I contacted somebody from the Indian Express. The person was, I guess, working at an editorial position in the Noida office, and I contacted him sharing that I am an aspiring journalist, an ex-aspiring journalist who would want to do an internship with the Indian Express. So if there's an opportunity, please let me know. And the person was really generous to help me out get that internship. So yeah, that is also something you can do, and it's more effective than waiting or like getting dependent on somebody to share opportunities.
Exactly. Like this just shows how you need to be proactive in the market, especially when you're beginning out.
Absolutely. So there are thousands of people who are looking for internships in such big brands. So what makes you stand out even as a beginner with no experience is just you taking a step ahead, reaching out to people, showing that you're genuinely interested rather than just applying to that opportunity.
Bilkul. Okay. So one question out of curiosity, how did your family react to this when you like shifted to this career field? I mean, you're still studying, so that's the main thing, I think. But on the sidelines, you also built a business. How is your family and friends, they are reacting to this?
Okay, I'll tell you this with a bit more background. I thought that my family wanted me to go for a job. They don't really support me going into a business because my dad has always been into a government job. So, and I have no background in terms of business. So I was a little hesitant while pursuing this alongside my side business, side hustles and more. So I had a jewelry business which I started in the first year of my college itself, and I did not tell anybody that I'm starting my jewelry business. I started it with a very small investment. So eventually I told it to my brother, my sibling, and my mom that this is what I'm doing, and they were okay with it. Though they had this thing, you should focus on studies as well. This is not something that's going to help, but it was all fine. Then one day, like after 6 months of building that business, my dad saw me packing those jewelry stuff and sending it to my customers.
Okay.
And I was like, oh my god, he has seen me, now what? He's going to act so negatively and probably scold me for doing it. But surprisingly, he was so proud of me. Like, he was so shocked to see that his little daughter is now a grown-up woman, a businesswoman who is sending jewelry not just across India but also across world, and she has built a business like that within 6 months without even letting him know, all with her own support. So that was something that was very positive. Like, he reacted very positively to him, and I was surprised to see that. But I realized at that time that your parents, they're not like they want you to do anything specific. Of course, they have their own ambitions that they want, they prefer if you follow them, like becoming a chartered accountant or a doctor or an engineer and so on. But all they want is your happiness plus a well settled life, something that you are happy with, you are successful in. All they want is stability in your life. And if they are able to see that kind of stability and that happiness, that success at a very young age, they will support you for it. So the same happened when I started doing internships in terms of content writing while pursuing my college, that my parents were pretty supportive of it. In fact, there was a time when I said, like, I won't name the company, but I have already named it already. So I told my parents ki they're making me work so much. I mean, those seniors above me, they're delegating me so much work. They just relax in the office and do nothing and ask me to do because I'm an intern. They're not even paying me for it. So my dad was so supportive, and he told me that, why are you taking it negatively? You should rather take it positively, because you are getting that opportunity to learn. So that is again a kind of support that I always get from my dad, that if somebody is giving you more work, take it positively, that you are getting an opportunity to learn, explore more. And that really changed my perspective. Even today, he says a lot of things that change my perspective and helps me build my business. So I've always got that kind of support, and it has always helped me. So my parents have literally always been positive about it.
Wow, that's amazing. Like, parents supporting you, that is like the boost that you need, because it's a teamwork. You show them you have potential to excel, and then they push you. So that's how you prosper. College में many parents are like, focus on studies, no need to do extracurricular and other things. But these in-office internships, they teach you a lot. Maybe they pay little, but learning बहुत ज़्यादा होता है वहाँ पे. So like, when you started your journey, apart from the skill building phase, what challenges did you encounter? Like, if someone is thinking about starting content writing or freelance writing, just to give them a heads up, what challenges did you face?
I didn't really face many challenges, but yes, like any other beginner, it was coming across more of low paying clients, because as a beginner, you don't have that unique positioning or a very strong portfolio presence or anything. So why should people hire you for that specific job and not thousands of other freelancers out there? Even when they're charging lower than your prices. So that was the main challenge that I come across, and I eventually realized that it's important for me to work on these low paying projects as well. It's not like since XYZ freelancer is charging that much, I should also quote the same price, because I don't have that kind of portfolio, profile, skills and more to charge that amount of money. So I will first have to work at these lower prices to be able to charge high in the future. That's the biggest lesson I've learned, that do not expect that much without having the same kind of skills and portfolio. So what really helped me is working on the same projects, those low paying ones, and then building my portfolio through them, getting more bylined work, upskilling myself. So all of these things helped me build my portfolio. Plus I started creating content on LinkedIn, which helped me stand out a bit. I did not had a very strong presence back then, but it actually helped me get more opportunities for writing, because people came across my content, they came across my profile and then DM me for the work. So that's how I helped overcome the same challenge.
Okay, that makes sense. And just for you guys, if you don't know it, I found Aastha on LinkedIn, as well.
So definitely profile optimization and content publishing frequently helps you get that kind of visibility and positioning in the market.
Definitely. And in fact, my audience was asking me about LinkedIn पे video बनाओ, so I started working on that as well. Scenario reflects how you did not have short sightedness कि यार a lot of people what they're doing is they want to earn कि यार सीखेंगे बाद में पहले कमाना है. That is like the best thing to sabotage your career in freelancing.
Absolutely. I think for some people it's FOMO that they see that, okay, these many freelancers are making 6 figures, they're making this, they're making that. So which is why this FOMO sort of kills them up and it just makes them feel like, why are they not there yet? But for some, it's actually a necessity to make more money because they have to feed their families. They are at that kind of age or that position, that condition, because of which they need to make quick money and more amount of money. But let me just tell you that if you are in need of finances immediately and you're just getting started, freelancing is not for you. It's going to take you a couple of months. Consider 6 months at least to start making a decent amount of money if you're figuring it all out yourself. So definitely give yourself that amount of time, and if you don't have that time, then please go ahead and look out for a job. There's nothing wrong going for a job and then thinking of pursuing something alongside.
Yeah, definitely. And a lot of gurus are like preaching you make 50k in 3 months, and that is just not how it works. If you have no skills, no background, you cannot like just go and make money.
Absolutely. Having that strong background in a skill, the skill is something that you would learn more by doing it practically. It's not like you give 6 months to learning it and then started, give a month or maybe 15-20 days to learn the basics and then just get started, work for somebody for free, get more experience and then keep on increasing your charges. So that is how it works, but eventually it takes you at least 3 to 6 months to make decent amount of money, and it can take you longer depending on how much you are putting in terms of work and what exactly you are implementing and what's working for
Exactly. I mean, मैं अपने audience को बताते रहता हूँ, just think realistically. एक college करके job करना भी 3 years का course रहता है. So in freelancing, you have to give at least 1 year आप दे रहे हो skill building में, then you can make maybe 50k, more than that, 1 lakh. But 1 month, 2 month में how can you expect?
Personally, I reached that 50k per month wala stage within 3 to 4 months of my full-time career. So I had been doing freelancing for 2 years before I switched, like 1.5 years before I switched into full-time freelancing after graduating, and within 3 months I was able to scale it. But the reason for that was that I had a background in writing. I had done a couple of internships already, plus I was really giving my 100% in my full-time freelancing, because let me tell you, I had this this condition on my head from my family side that since after graduation I would get a job of say 20,000, 25,000, not more than that, as somebody who has done graduation in journalism. So I gave myself 3 months and see how it went, whether I was able to make around the same amount of money as anybody who would get graduated and then get a job in the corporate world, how much they'll be making versus how much I am making if I'm putting my 100% on freelancing. So I had this thing in my mind that if I'm able to make the same amount of money or somewhere around it, then I'll continue to pursue freelancing. But if I'm not able to make that, if my career by chance it doesn't go up, then I'll probably try going for a corporate job and then see how I can continue freelancing alongside. But luckily and all with my hard work, I was able to scale it to 50k plus, and that's the moment I realized there's no point in going for a job, especially in the media world wherein you are highly underpaid and you need to be out in the field for like the entire day. You don't have any kind of work-life balance. So that was the moment I realized I don't want to go for a job and I should continue it because I have a lot of potential to scale.
Right. And this is totally like relatable. Like same thing happened with me also. I've told my audience ki like I also got like 3 month 4 month mein I showed that yes I am making this much, but uske piche jo background tha, internships, the lessons, that goes on for years.
Right, I completely agree. Somebody who doesn't have basic English knowledge, they cannot become a content
Right.
writer and make that amount of money within 3 or even 6 months, because that's going to take them more time. So it definitely depends. But if you have those basic skills and you are putting in that amount of effort and in the right direction, which is very
Yeah.
important, then you can potentially make it within 3 to 6 months. That's what I personally believe
Totally,
in.
totally. And now getting to the nitty-gritty of things, coming to this big problem that a lot of freelancers also have, ki Indian clients don't pay enough. I have also personally seen this in the industry. Once I got an opportunity from a big company, like they are doing millions in revenue. उनका नाम भी मैं share कर सकता हूँ, Rank Math. There's an SEO plugin. But उनका जो salary था वो देख के I just went off. So how do you convince them? Even the big players are not ready to pay. So how are you like convincing them to pay you good money? What's the catch?
Okay, it's not like just big players are willing to pay you high or small players. It actually depends on that specific company. I've charged a lot of money from small brands as well, and I've charged I've been paid very little amount of money from big brands as well, because big brands have this thing that a lot of people are willing to work with them, so they have like a lot of demand in terms of hiring people, so they don't pay you a lot of money then. But similarly, for small brands, they are looking for expertise, they are looking for people who can genuinely bring them results quicker, so even they are willing to spend if they have that kind of funds with them. So it actually depends. It's not like big brands pay you a lot of money, but certainly chances are, because they have more budget in those terms. So how do I convince people to pay? It's definitely my results, my positioning, my presence on LinkedIn, and my overall portfolio. I think even skills play a great role. Skills is what brings results, and your positioning. So I'll try to break them all down. I post content on LinkedIn regularly, which definitely shows that I know my thing. I am good at writing blogs. I have sufficient knowledge to help people out with their blogs. So that's one thing you definitely need to do. You need to start building your positioning in the market by building a profile presence on any social media platform where your target audience hangs out. So it can be LinkedIn or Twitter, most likely as a writer. Now, the second thing is building your portfolio. That happens when you work with a lot of brands. So as a beginner, you should not expect to work with big brands. Start working at a smaller level first. And in fact, if you're an Indian freelancer, start working with Indian clients first. People have this hype that only international clients pay you, so they just want to apply or work with international clients, but that's not really the thing. If you're working with international clients, they're also looking for those international standards. Why would they want to hire an Indian writer if you're not able to compete with a writer from the US? You should be able to have that basic command and knowledge to be able to get that position. So start at an Indian level, and then you'll eventually upskill, up level, and then be better suited for international opportunities. So building your portfolio by working with more brands is definitely something you need to do. The next thing is focusing more on results. If you have something to give as a support, because if somebody is going to pay you pay a writer 2,000 versus 20,000 for writing a blog piece, there should be a difference between that 2,000 wala blog versus a 20,000 wala blog. Now what can be the difference? It can be in terms of the language you have used, the kind of tone you are following. It can be in terms of SEO that you are doing, the keywords, how well you are able to include them in the content, whether you know how to do keyword research or you don't know, and of course how well you are able to promote their product in the blog and bring them revenue. So you should be good at all these things to be able to charge more amount of money.
Absolutely. Yeah, like this is the same mistake that I also did. I started with international clients, and even though I had a blog and rankings and social proof, but it was like very hard. I was getting a lot of rejections because उनके standards बहुत high होते हैं. But making your way through Indian clients is a good way.
Yeah, right. So first try to get more work that you are able to get it more easily, and then build your portfolio using that, and eventually start pitching brands that you think would be okay with your existing portfolio, and then keep going ahead with the process. Moving up.
Bilkul. If you have skills and results, then a lot of doors open for you. So moving over to the next question, like there is a doubt in the industry that Chat GPT will kill freelance writing. And personally, I have also faced कि I had a client जिनका content बहुत ही normal level पे होता था, and वो agency owner थी, and her clients went and used Chat GPT, so she lost clients. So what is your take? Like, should we be afraid? Future क्या है writing का if there is Chat GPT?
Well, I won't be talking of superficial things like ChatGPT can't affect your career or it can never replace you or something like that, because I've personally also experienced the same things. Last year, one of my clients said to me that they are experimenting with GPT now, so they would like to put a hold on the contract and they would just like to see how things go, and I lost that client forever. Like, at least that's what I assume now, that they started creating with GPT because it was producing decent quality of content and they chose to move forward with it. Another client of mine also said the same thing, that they are looking into their strategy or something, like that's the kind of word that they use, but eventually I knew that it's going to be experimenting with GPT, so that's what they were doing. But luckily they got back to me after 3 to 4 months, probably after seeing that the kind of content that GPT creates or any other AI tool creates, it's not the same as what I was creating or any writer, a good writer can create. So they got back to me, and as you were also mentioning that recently a client paid me 40k, it's like that particular client could have also rather chosen GPT for it, that to an Indian client. Within 40k they would have got like 6 months ka entire content, but they chose to pay me for a single blog. What's the reason for that? The reason is simple, that the level of the quality of content that GPT can create versus a human can create can never match. That's the reality. But does it mean that you as a writer are not replaceable? Definitely not, because you need to be at a level wherein your content stands out. It's not the same as what GPT is producing. It's much different in terms of the language, tone, engagement it's bringing, and of course the SEO perspective, plus the kind of sales you are generating with the content. So including your unique insights, supporting it with great examples, making the content more actionable and practical is something you should definitely focus on. And apart from that, being a specialist in a niche definitely helps you get higher paying opportunities, get brands that are willing to spend more money on specialists rather than bots like GPT, who are producing content about anything and everything, and of course they do not have any expertise or personal insights to share. So it's going to affect you when you are a beginner, when you don't have many skills, when you write just like a bot or very basic English or very basic kind of content. But if you manage to go up at a better level and position yourself as an expert, you genuinely know how to do your thing, and you have some other complementary skills like keyword research, creating content strategy, marketing, repurposing content, refreshing content, editing content. If you have those kind of skills, that's going to help you. I also have a client that is completely okay with me producing content using these tools and editing it thoroughly to make sure that it's sounding like a human. And that's also the future of content. I believe that these AI tools are, that they shouldn't be your rival or something you don't want to use. You just want to position yourself as, I don't use AI. Rather, I use AI to improve my efficiency, to improve my productivity, and to write content faster plus better. But I don't entirely depend on it. There's a difference between producing, like copy pasting through AI, and using AI for inspiration, for outlining, for first drafts, for editing and more, and then ensuring that it still sounds like a human and it does what the content was supposed to do.
Right, absolutely. Like I personally run my own blogs. उसमें मैंने देखा है कि if I generate an article from ChatGPT, it will not address the human query, because वो human query search intent समझ के we have to understand the psychology of the person. AI cannot do that. An expert can only do that.
Absolutely. So human intervention is something that is needed, and that's probably going to be needed forever. But definitely using AI can help you write faster and more efficiently, which can help you make more money.
Absolutely. And like I keep on mentioning a website called Pro Blogger. उस पे international clients like niche expertise writers ढूंढते हैं and they like specify कि we don't want AI content. तो ऐसे भी clients हैं market में, they are like they hate AI content at all.
I'll tell you the reason, because there was a lot of lack of clarity as in how would AI content, AI generated content be responded by Google or the algorithms, whether it helps them rank or whether that is considered as a disqualification factor and doesn't get indexed. So there's so much going out around, like these myths is what causing people to refrain from using AI. Or I also have clients who are like completely against it. They are like the score should be less than 10% on AI tools, even though they are not the most accurate out there. So it actually makes us do a lot more hard work. Even if we are not using AI, it still shows up the score is like 10%, 15%, 20%, and sometimes even more without even using those AI tools. So they are like it shouldn't be, some are like it should be 0%. So it's like it's causing more of confusion because of that fear in mind ki what if a person generates or a business generates content with AI and in the short run it doesn't cause a problem, but in the long run it actually like punishes their content or disqualifies it or doesn't help them rank or get results out of it. But personally, what I've seen, what I've read is like AI content can rank given that it's helpful to the users, it solves their problems and it sounds user friendly. That's all.
Absolutely. Google said that helpful content चाहिए. They never said कि AI content नहीं होना चाहिए.
Absolutely.
So that
Google
is the
itself
catch.
has AI tools, Bard. So it's like AI is the future. So I don't think Google would anyway impose such restrictions or something for AI written content. But of course, user friendliness and helpfulness is something that it will always prioritize.
Absolutely. And AI detectors जो होते हैं, I recently came across a study which said that it's mathematically impossible to detect AI text. So जितने भी AI detection tools है, they are just playing with the tone and trying to predict कि वो human है या AI. And more often than not, they are wrong.
So I have personally tested out something that I generated with AI versus something I wrote on my own or my team did, and it gave great results to some extent, as in around 70% or 80% of times it's correct. But even with some articles that we generate on our own without using AI at all, there are times when it shows like it is like 30% AI written or 20% AI written. That's because there are certain sentences and they are written certain ways, like very generic ways. So it actually looks into those patterns, that sentence structuring and more, and based on that it predicts whether that is AI written or not. So if your content is AI written, most likely these tools will tell you that it is AI written. But if your content is human written, it can either tell you that it's human written or it can show some parts as AI written. That's what is based on my personal observation.
Yeah, absolutely. I've noticed the same thing. Like recently, I was working with a client, and they उनका tone ही ऐसा था कि like bland, मतलब technical niche था थोड़ा. So what they did is I wrote the content and it's showing 100% AI. So next I checked their old article जो उन्होंने खुद लिखा था, and उसको मैंने paste किया, वो भी 100% AI दिखा रहा है. The client also got confused. So this is what AI detectors are doing. They're just looking at the pattern and predicting. So like hopping onto the marketing side a little bit now, not too deep, ऊपर से, if you can tell us कि if someone is starting out, तो what should be their marketing strategy? Like inbound के लिए wait करे या outbound start कर दे? What would you suggest?
Okay, so personally, I don't practice outbound a lot because I get sufficient number of leads in my DMs through inbound on LinkedIn. But that's because I am pretty regular at creating content. I do have a substantial follower base and a good kind of engagement on my profile. But that's not the case with beginners or somebody who is just getting started with freelancing. In that case, you cannot expect people to reach out to you, and rather you have to be the one who proactively reaches out to their potential clients. So cold outreach, whether that be via social media or that be via email, that's something you need to focus more on, apart from applying to opportunities and building connections with people that help you in the long run. So for short run, if you want to get clients immediately, try and reach out to 5 to 10 people every single day whom you think you can help you, whom you think you can help with your services, and yeah, you can expect certain responses and eventually convert more of them.
Yeah, totally agreed. मतलब मैंने भी ये खुद notice किया है. What I used to do is I used to send out 3 personalized, like highly personalized applications. And even if you are very good at your skill, you have to send at least 50. Then you will get maybe 5, 6 responses. So it's a
Correct.
number of game.
Definitely. I think not just a number game, but also a personalization game, how well you're putting out. Because I receive a ton of pitches every day
Right.
for my agency as well. And those pitches are like
अच्छा.
very generic. You give me like 2 pages of description about who you are and nothing
हाँ.
more than that. It doesn't even contain my name. So you need to make it personalized, not just in terms of adding the name of the prospect, but also the first line should be personalized, at least why you're reaching out to them, why they should care about reading or giving your time to your message.
Right. I think it's more about quality over quantity. High quality pitches भेजो, even if quantity थोड़ा कम भेज रहे हो आप.
Right. So for freelancers, personalization of pitches is the key to winning. And for agency owners or somebody who's looking for clients in bulk and they have some results to showcase for them, more generic pitches and then sending it to more number of people is something that is going to help them more.
Okay, yeah, that's a like super important point क्योंकि अभी content आता रहता है YouTube पे कि just use this tool and send bulk emails. So that is more for agency owners. If you're a freelancer
Absolutely.
starting out, then it's hard for you.
Right. So as an agency owner, you have some results to show. So you can just put that result in 1 or 2 lines, that kind of case studies, and it would be easier for
Yeah.
you to get responses because everybody is looking for results. So you can keep it more generic, but as a freelancer, you don't have much to show. So in that case, you have to make sure your words are compelling enough to bring an action. So take out
Yeah.
time and write it in a more personalized way.
Absolutely, completely different strategies for both the things. So, one more thing, like I keep on suggesting people that make your own project, कुछ अपना बनाओ, like a blog or something. Just don't rely on freelancing alone. And you certainly have the skills to build a blog, and you also made one you mentioned before. So, if someone like a newbie is trying to build one, what would you suggest, and how would you plan to scale it? If you can tell.
Okay, personally, I started my blog with this objective कि I want to experiment with the SEO part कि what I'm learning theoretically, does that actually work in the practical world? Am I able to get results for my website that I can replicate the same for my clients? And it did work out. It gave me some confidence in my skills, so that's where my blog helped me. I am not having that aim of making passive income with my blog at least anytime soon because it's difficult for me to manage both. But of course, if you can do both, there's nothing that can be better because you are because building your own blog is going to take you a lot of time. It's going to take years to start monetizing it and then getting returns out of it. So that's not something you can give your 100% to and then still expect returns within months. So it's going to take time. So you can start doing it alongside if you have sufficient time and you have those skills, because know that one thing, building a blog doesn't just require writing skills. That's the biggest thing. Biggest myth that you need to be a writer to build your blog. I did not have technical skills and I suffered very badly when it came to indexing, building a website, ensuring that there are site maps and like so much more that I had to YouTube and learn, and it was like a huge time investment and effort investment. So if you have those basic skills or you are okay spending that amount of time or hiring somebody who have that kind of money, then you can certainly start your blog. Now, one mistake that I made when I started my blog was keeping it very generic, lifestyle blog. Now within lifestyle I had put content on health, on wellness, on relationships, on food, on travel, and so much more. So that was the biggest mistake I made. I realized that it's important to niche down, especially when you are starting out as a blogger, because it's very competitive out there. So I very recently, like less than a year back, I switched to made it a relationship based blog, and since then we are posting content around the same thing, and it has definitely increased the traffic and positioning in the space. So being specific with the niche is very important, and secondly, knowing that it's going to take time, having that patience, having that money, that time to invest is something you need to consider before beginning. And the last thing I would say regarding it is consistency. While it sounds very vague, but it's very important, because the more you post, the more you are able to get in terms of traffic and earnings. So you need to be consistent with your blog. You need to publish something frequently. And something that I didn't mention but I should have mentioned beforehand is that keyword research is very important when it comes to your blog. Writing anything and everything that you want to share with the world is not going to bring anything positive to you. That's again a mistake I made in the start, when I did not know much about SEO. Yeah. So I eventually understood how to do keyword research, used free tools like Ubersuggest, like freemium tools like Ubersuggest, did some basic research and then targeted the right keywords and optimized them in the content. So this is something you definitely need to focus on. It would help you choose the right topics and get the desired results.
Absolutely, and like if someone is starting in freelancing, मुझे तो लगता है कि what they can do is just start like posting, like understanding the basics and posting maybe 2-3 blogs a month, because उसको monetize करने में definitely time लगेगा, but it also nurtures your skill. So making your own project,
Absolutely.
that is a gift.
Absolutely. If you have your own website, you can publish any kind of content there. You don't have those restrictions ki the client is expecting you to write on this topic, in this
Right.
format, in this tone, and so on. So if you want to build your portfolio, that's going to help you there also.
Absolutely. And another very good point that you mentioned is going micro. तो मैंने भी mistake किया था. I went into health and fitness. I have a background in that, so I went into that niche. But if I would have targeted maybe muscle building or sub part of fitness, then it would have more chances of growing faster. So micro is a key.
Definitely, it does. After you are done building an authority in that muscle building thing, you could have shifted to another sub niche, or probably in
Right.
health in general. So the
Absolutely.
like the narrower you are, the better it is for you to grow, the faster it is for you to grow.
Exactly, and I tell my clients the same thing कि यार पूरा अगर आपको कैप्चर करना है niche, you have to start small, because जो already rank कर रहे हैं, they are like 90 domain authority websites, very powerful websites. You can't beat them on the mainstream keywords. You have to start small and then expand.
Absolutely. So there are clients who expect their writers to write on the main topics. For example, if that's like an SEO agency, they would ask you to write on what is SEO or how to do SEO for your website. They don't really have that kind of knowledge ki it's not possible for them to rank for those keywords anytime soon. So why do they end up investing that amount of money in those blogs that they don't have any potential in, just because those are the most popular topics or common topics they think they should be covering, without even realizing that it's not for them at this moment. They should rather be starting with something more in terms of the keywords. They can be more long tail, they can be more specific, they can be more less popular ones rather than the more popular ones, for which they as a new website can rank higher.
Totally agreed. Now, like ये शायद audience के लिए थोड़ा technical होगा, but guys, this is like the golden key in if you're starting your blog or learning about SEO. So make notes, I would say. And next, moving away a little bit from the technical questions, like I had one question: ki what's your opinion on pursuing academics? Like you freelancers and business owners don't need degrees, right? And you don't even need placement. So what is about like what is a passion behind academics? Is it like your interest, passion?
Okay, personally, I was passionate about journalism, which is why I pursued graduation in journalism from a renowned college from Delhi University. And I just wanted to keep it going. I did not wanted to end my, get an end on an education part there, because I believe degrees are important too. Even if I'm not able to grasp a lot of things in terms of new learnings by pursuing the same course, I believe degrees are important. They have their own place, though they are more important when you are into a job or you are planning to get into. See, I personally don't know where I would be 5 years or 10 years from now. I'm somebody who gets a lot of ideas and probably wants to switch to something new every time. I've tutored people in the past. I've also had my own jewelry business. I've also done a couple of more things in the past. So, and now I'm into freelancing. I also have my course. I'm also building my YouTube channel alongside. So I don't know where I would be 5 to 10 years from now. So it's always a good idea to have degrees in the background. And the second thing I would say is journalism is a course that helps me position myself differently even as a writer. So people hire me just by hearing that, okay, I have a strong background in journalism, because journalism definitely helps you become better at writing. It helps you become at researching, at interviewing people and thinking differently. So these are things that like it has actually changed how people see me, even if I'm not really getting a lot out of the course, at least when I'm pursuing it from distance learning. I have got a lot of it when I was doing it full time, like from a regular college. But now it's not that much in terms of value that I'm getting, but rather not in terms of the skills that I'm getting, but rather in terms of the value that people are how they're perceiving me and hiring me based on this. So I think it's good to have a degree.
Okay, that makes sense. I think without that journey in the college, you would not even have your freelancing career. So definitely, it's a stepping stone.
Absolutely, absolutely. You should not miss out on any opportunities. I could have missed out on that internship opportunities if I was not pursuing journalism and rather I was pursuing BCom honors or any other course. So journalism is something that has helped me get into this, and I'm really grateful for that. So I would just like to continue pursuing it.
Totally, and it's like highly relatable. Like even I pursued in health and like nutrition sciences. So मेरे दिमाग में भी नहीं था कि I will be doing freelancing or blogging or any of these things. I was like okay, कुछ नहीं होगा तो health coaching provide कर देंगे 1-to-1. मतलब 9 to 5 से तो better ही होगा.
Even I had similar plans कि अगर I don't turn out to be very successful in writing, then I might switch to being a teacher, a lecturer in journalism, or I would do this or that. So I had different plans as a backup too, though I don't think I would need them anytime soon, but still good to have them.
Definitely makes sense. Okay, so moving on to the last question, like we have taken a lot of your time. So how do you manage your time effectively and like maintain a healthy work-life balance? Because you are running an agency, you are creating content, you are handling clients. Like it's a lot. It's hard to fathom also. So how do you manage everything?
Personally, work-life balance seems like a myth to me. It's not like you are able to achieve it, and I don't think I would be able to achieve it anytime soon as well. It's like I consider this age as a very precious age wherein it's all about my career. Like whatever amount of hard work I can put in now, I don't think I can put in 5 years or 10 years from now. I would have different priorities, maybe family building or anything like that at that time. So I consider this stage as wherein I need to put in my 100% in my work, and of course while giving some time to my family and my loved ones. And I'm honestly not able to manage my time very well because I have a lot on my plate in terms of content creation, building my own agency, pursuing academics, managing my own website, YouTube channel and more. So it's actually difficult to, but my go-to way is to identify what is important at what point in time for me, what I should be prioritizing when. For example, I have my exams beginning in 10 days from now. So I would be putting a pause on my client work. I've already informed my clients that it's going to be there are going to be a certain delays, or probably I'll take up less work and focus more on my academics for the next 20 days. So after that I'll be very actively doing my client work. So it's more like prioritizing what's important at what point in time. When I am looking for more leads or more engagement on my profile, then I'm more actively putting content. But if my priority, or say I have a lot on my plate already, I need to complete works, then I put a pause on that content creation part or take it more slowly. So it's not like I'm able to perfectly manage it all. That's just a myth. I am still trying to manage things better, and I think that's going to be my number one goal for 2024, that I want to manage my time better and look into who more I need to hire to keep my work going and what do I need to prioritize more.
Wow, okay. So, guys, you all also get a glimpse of the mindset, the perspective that she has. 10 years का planning भी like अभी से एक idea बना के you are going on. That is like amazing. Like most of us don't even know कि अगले साल क्या करना है, but थोड़ा सा planning करके रखना चाहिए. That's great.
I think you should always have plans, but you should be flexible enough to make any changes that might be needed because you literally don't know what would be the circumstances, who would be your new family member, especially as a
Right.
woman, how supportive they would be,
Absolutely.
and how much you would be able to go ahead in your career. So you should have plans, you should have dreams, you should have goals, but you should be flexible enough and have something in the backup or something that you would be okay adjusting with.
Exactly. मतलब जो होगा देखा जाएगा उस mindset में नहीं रहना. At least have some
नहीं,
plan.
जो होगा देखा जाएगा के साथ तो आप फिर कुछ कर ही नहीं सकते.
फिर होता है जो हो रहा है देखा नहीं जा रहा.
Absolutely. So I see people's memes, like not memes but posts like जो आपके नसीब में होगा आपको मिल ही जाएगा. I don't believe in this. Luck of course plays an important role, but अगर आप कुछ करोगे ही नहीं तो आपको कुछ नहीं मिलेगा. So don't sit idle and wait for things to happen. Rather look out for opportunities and don't leave any of them.
Absolutely. After all, actions make the difference.
Absolutely. Luck is not something you can change, but your actions is something with which you can control a lot of things.
Yeah, absolutely. So that was like the last question, and like we have covered ins and outs of your work-life balance, freelancing, personal life, and like you are running your agency, your content creation is going on, and I have not even thanked you yet for joining us on this podcast and giving us time for time out of your schedule. So thank you so much firstly for like joining us and being with us today.
Thank you so much, Adarsh. It was actually my pleasure being here, and I think all the questions that you have asked were really insightful. It also helped me answer a lot of new things, and it would perhaps help our audience as well get started with freelancing and scale their careers.
Right.
And if you would like to stay updated with more of my work and you would like to just learn more from me in terms of content writing and blogging, then of course you can also join my group, which Adarsh can give the link for in the description.
Yeah, definitely check out this group because if you join this, you will get personalized support. मतलब free में no other creator is giving you. So if you have any doubts, you want her personal opinions, then you can definitely join it and ask your questions. And also I will drop the link to her course. You can check it out क्योंकि this if you are like serious about blogging and getting into freelance writing, then this is the perfect resource. कहीं कुछ research करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. Everything is put in one place. So definitely check that out as well.
Thank you, Adarsh, for that.
Thank you so much for joining us.